Hi Capricorns, and welcome to your May 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. Just like a lot of the other signs, Capricorn, it looks like you guys are majorly involved in a lot of ups and downs, lots of really great successes, lots of potential fears or insecurities about certain circumstances and situations. It's very collective right now. It seems like everyone is kind of going through this to a certain extent. But you guys luckily seem to have transformative ability, death and judgment in the same reading. I mean, look at that with the High Priestess too. Those three major arcana cards are everything that you need to wrap up your own extremely internal, maybe even slightly fearful circumstance this month in May, Taurus. We're having a lot of interesting astrological activity right now. I would like to make a specific video on all the retrograde planets. Do comment if you would like that. But there's just so much going on. Mercury will be going direct this month, and finally, and we're just coming out of the Venus retrograde as well. Pluto and Saturn are retrograde and will be, and it's a lot for sure to be dealing with. We're having to think about the Pluto and Saturn retrograde tendencies. So for Saturn, we're having to think about how have we structured our lives? What limitations have we and have we not accepted? With Pluto, we're having to think about what changes have we made? What turning points have we endured or experienced? How have we used power in healthy or unhealthy ways? Those are things that are definitely coming to the surface in May and will be very succinct, very potent parts of the experience throughout the summertime. Especially for those of you Capricorns who are born on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn, it's very strong for you for sure, especially from the Saturn point of view. And Pluto is retrograde in your sign, after all, Capricorn, so it's a lot for you guys right now. But at the same time, there's so much more power to do something about it than a lot of the other signs. A lot of the other signs are feeling this as well. I mean, everybody's feeling it to a certain extent. But for you guys to be having Pluto retrograde in your sign of Capricorn, it gives you a certain power and a certain reachability. Like, you guys can really achieve anything that you reach for. It's a matter of finding what that is so you can then reach for it. I feel like that's really what you're thinking about in May. What big goals do I have? What big aspirations do I have? And once you find that out and you sort of hone in and focus on it, you can reach it, because Pluto is granting you guys a very scorpionic power. Some of you who may have Scorpio in your charts may already be kind of predisposed to it. Although those of you who weren't born with natal Scorpio, it can be a bit of a shock, because the mixture of Capricorn and Scorpio energy is not bad, but it's very heavy. It's very black and white. It's very cold. It can be a cold type of mixture of energy, a very powerful type of mixture of energy. Sometimes a very money-oriented mixture of energy. It can deal with very large amounts of money. Very power through money can be a theme with Pluto and Capricorn energy. So all of that's coming to the surface for you guys, but the most important thing is that you have something that you're striving for, so that you don't feel within your ego that you have to pull other people down. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but you have had to deal with that for sure, either by the realization that you were doing that or experiencing other people who did that to you. So I'm going to go ahead and look at y'all's reading from the week-to-week standpoint, and I feel that that will give a more clear picture of how you can find what you need to reach for and how you can harness these energies to your best potential. So week number 1, Capricorns, you guys have Knight of Wands reversed, rooted down by death. That's really interesting, because look at the similarities between Knight of Wands and the Death card. Knight of Wands is holding that sort of rod-looking thing, and then Death is holding the flag. So it's interesting how similar they look. It's like you've really become serious with yourself in the first week. You've really taken something to the next level, because Knight of Wands represents a sudden urge to accomplish, passionate feelings towards a project. It can even be traveling or experiencing something foreign. And it's like the Death card has come and weighed that down in a way that it has become much more of a life-altering turning point for you. Of course, this can represent death around you or that kind of energy. As you all know, any of you who watch tarot videos, it's so much talked about that death does not represent actual physical death. Of course it does, but it's more commonly associated with transformation and changes in your life. It's not something to fear, because everything has to end, and things that are forced to live past their time is a much more scary archetype than death itself. So you guys have to kind of look at what needs to end in your life in the first week. What relationships are not working for you? What jobs or career paths or way that you make money, or projects that just are being forced to live. There's something about Knight of Wands, which is a very life, it's almost like life type of card. Of course, it's not major arcana, but it's definitely an opposite idea to death. And it's also turned the other way. So it's like there is a polarization for you guys. There is a merging and integration of sort of a life and death drive, sort of the Eros versus Thanatos for any of you who are into the Freudian connotation there. And it's very clear to me that there was most likely some kind of loss that has happened for you guys that you're very aware of in the first week. And you guys might be tempted to try to push through it. It's like if a relationship is falling apart, if somebody has kind of left you in an energetic way, even if they're still very much in your physical field, you're really trying to make it work. You're really trying to prolong something that has already run its course. And how do I know that it's run its course? It's because Knight of Wands is reversed and Death is upright. So it's like the reality is that something has ended. Something is over, but you guys keep trying to make it live and make it work. And it's a really good time to practice acceptance right now, Capricorns, that it's over, that something is over. It could be a relationship. It could be, it's really anything. You know what it is when you've come to this reading. And take a moment in admiration of yourself at how much you've done to try to make this work, how much you have tried to keep things afloat, how much you've tried to acknowledge the good and the bad in an effort to help people think that you have knowledge or something. There's something about your contributions that aren't so much appreciated from the people around you or something like that, but you still try because you want to make it work. And there's a good merging of integration that needs to happen between the Death archetype and the Knight of Wands reversed archetype, where you accept the gift of life through an ending. Like by setting somebody free, Capricorn, you are giving them something very powerful and something very transformative. And also by freeing yourself of that stagnant energy, you are doing the same for yourself. But there is a fear here. You are ruled by Saturn, Capricorn, so there is that desire to endure no matter what, to keep something floating no matter how unstable it is. But I feel that it is a very strong life lesson coming to you in May, where you learn about what it is to let go of something in a way that you're not like ending your capability or ending your progress in some way, because it's just a necessary part of life. And there is a reality, Capricorn, that some of these relationships, especially that are working in your life, are not necessarily good for you, are not necessarily supported. You may kind of be being taken advantage of without knowing it. You have Five of Wands reversed, moving into the second week, rooted down by Page of Pentacles. Something about the way that you make money. This could be like work, people, co-workers, or people that you're around so constantly that it feels like you just can't make it work. It feels like there's something underhanded happening. And it's good to trust your gut there, because you're in a place where you can come through endings very easily, where you can give endings to situations very easily. And it's not always that way. Sometimes, you know, if you just quit the job or if you just stop something when it wasn't ready to be completed, you know, you kind of suffer for that, or you kind of find yourself in a dynamic where it's really hard to find something. It's really hard to find your end game again, because that's what you're looking for right now. I feel like you might even be there right now. Even if you have all the money that you want, even if you have the relationship that you want, you still don't know what the next level is. Like, what surpasses this? Because you know this isn't all, but you still haven't found what all is. So that's what it's all about in May in general. But in the second week, you know that there's somebody who is keeping you back, who is holding you back. It could even be that you're holding somebody back without realizing it. Sometimes Five of Swords reversed isn't on purpose. It's usually not really a victory either. Like upright, it's always like a victory, but it's like hollow victory. Reversed, it's kind of like a hollow loss. So that's an interesting way to think about it. It's like your losses and the things that are ending in your life are not giving you anything. Do you know what I mean? Because it's usually like in life, when you lose, like when one door closes, another one opens, and you're not feeling that right now, Capricorn. You're feeling like all the doors are closing and that you're looking in other directions and not being able to find your path. Loss is not giving you much right now, but it's because you're not merging the life and death drive of yourself. It's because you're not searching for the new beginnings during the endings. You're so focused on the endings or something, or there's not enough focus on the endings. There's something about ending focus that is skewed a little bit for you, which is fine. And I feel that in May, you understand how to wrap your head around that. And I'll see what else comes to me to help you to do that for the rest of this reading. In the third week, you guys have Nine of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by Knight of Swords reversed. It's too fast. You have to... There's a desperation here in all of May, to be honest, to create something very fulfilling for yourself. Like, desperation and fulfillment aren't related. You can't desperately strive for fulfillment. If you know that you're not fulfilled right now, you know, trying to claw your way up something that will give you fulfillment makes you too ego-focused, makes you too focused on the clawing part and not the actual achievement part. There's also coming into question like achievement versus fulfillment, success versus fulfillment. That's been such a collective thing for everybody lately as well. You know, is what you're doing and achieving actually fulfilling you? Do you need to downsize? Do you need to upsize? It seems that there might need to be some kind of change. It seems like Knight of Swords has come in reversed because Knight of Swords represents a very quick change. And it's like you're not changing. You're not going with that flow. You're trying to keep things the same. Because you are, I mean, with the High Priestess as your central theme, you're trying to understand something about yourself. And you want a very solid, stable, normal, like reality. A very solid, stable, normal present to do that in. But that tends to not be the case. Like when we have moments in our life when we understand our shadow sides, it's usually during a very turning point type of time. And, you know, Scorpio is going through something like this too. I would recommend that you guys watch that video because, you know, you are having Pluto go retrograde in your sign and Pluto rules Scorpio. So to understand more of the Scorpio archetype, it might be good to watch Scorpio's video, which I will link in the description box as well. Anyway, so you Capricorn, as a very structured Saturn sign, think that you need a very solid, stable home, present environment to understand yourself. If things start to go crazy or things start to feel very destabilized, you don't even try sometimes. You kind of embrace that, or you tell yourself sometimes that, okay, everything is not perfect, therefore I cannot understand anything about myself, and I won't understand anything about myself until I feel it is right. And that's what the High Priestess tries to teach you to avoid. And because you're getting very comfortable with that archetype, and it seems that a lot of you already understand this, but just for those of you who didn't quite get that yet, that is, you do tend to do most of your learning and healing through symbolism, through changes in your life. And, you know, healing or damage, it can really go either way. It depends on where you're coming from. The damaging times do end up usually being quite healing, despite that kind of being what you heal from. So there's a lot to reflect on with that whole idea, Capricorns. You are looking very nice in the third week. You are very outwardly comfortable looking. People are very admiring of you right now. I feel that strangers come in. I feel that people tell you and compliment you about your appearance, and it could even be like your home. Something is not as it appears, though, and you are tired of feeling fake. You want to feel real. Nine of Pentacles is in reverse, so, you know, your appearance is not reflecting how you actually feel, and it would be good for the people that you want to know how you actually feel to not continue that fakeness for you, because that's not what you want, it seems. But sometimes you can continue that without realizing. It seems something about that makes you want to go somewhere too, because you see how the yellow in the Nine of Pentacles bleeds over into the yellow of the Knight of Pentacles, from the Nine to the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like through that outward appearance not being what you want it to be, you shift into something more mobile, and you start a new journey. You start onto potentially a new career or project, because that's what the Pentacles suit is all about. This can also be a new person coming into your life. This could be a new relationship. Maybe somebody finally sees through your outward appearance, and that makes you kind of fall for them, for the single Capricorns out there. This can also happen to the married Capricorns, but you guys are kind of not about infidelity. Capricorn tends not to be. You generally don't like that, so make sure you are honoring your principles there, because there is definitely a new person coming in. And for those of you who are like married to Capricorns or are in a relationship with a Capricorn, don't worry too much, because they tend to not cheat. Capricorn does not tend to be a cheating sign. You look for something else in the zodiac for potential with infidelity. But honestly, I don't want to see comments. I've been seeing a lot of comments in Capricorn videos lately, my Capricorn videos, of people who are not Capricorns, who had a bad experience with a Capricorn and came in and talked about like how I was wrong about how good Capricorns are and how loyal Capricorns are. And that really upsets me personally, when people who have had a bad experience with a certain sign come to that sign's video and try to prove me wrong by the bad experience, when I'm trying to help these people and I'm trying to help cause healing. So I really do not appreciate that. And if you're tempted to comment about how bad Capricorns are and how I'm wrong about their loyal, I mean, it's making my little Scorpio tail come out and be like, don't do it, because I will just remove the comment, because Capricorns are having a hard time right now. I don't care if you've been treated like the worst whatever by a Capricorn. I mean, everybody has moments in their life, but Capricorns are struggling and Capricorns are having a difficult experience, and it would be nice to, you know, not ruin it for other Capricorns who are here to try to heal. So please, no comments about bad Capricorns. You know, it's one thing to talk about an experience that you've had, and even if it has like negative details, that's fine. And maybe if you have a healing process that you would like to tell about your experience with a Capricorn, that's great. I feel that Capricorns can benefit from that. But I don't want like bad messages with no capitalization, no punctuation, talking about how bad Capricorns are with nothing else to offer. That really upsets me. And that for all the other signs as well. Anybody else listening to this, please do not go to other signs' videos that you've had bad experiences with and try to tell me that I'm wrong about them actually being good people or something. That just, it's a pet peeve of mine. I'm sorry to go off on that tangent, guys, but maybe that's something that you're struggling with, Capricorn. Maybe you're struggling with people thinking something about you that's very antagonizing. Okay, that's definitely part of your experience right now. Feeling antagonized, feeling unfairly antagonized by people who don't personally know you at a deep level. And I just want you guys to know that there are people on your side, like me, like Scorpios. Some Scorpios, some of you Capricorns may probably have had difficult experience with Scorpios since Pluto is retrograde in your sign. That's very possible. So maybe not all Scorpios, but I'm on your side, Capricorn. I don't like it when people antagonize people by something general, like their zodiac sign, for instance. There's so much more to it, but anyway, moving on. As I was saying, in the fourth week with Knight of Pentacles, you're wanting to move, you're wanting to change something because of the impressions and appearances that make you out to be an antagonist. That's not true. It makes you want to go somewhere else. That's rooted down by judgment. That's a huge evolution. It's in reverse, so the message is to not resist it. The message is to not feel like you can't transform, to not feel like you can't make this change. Also, to feel like you're losing a battle by going away from these people who antagonize you, okay? You know, you don't have to prove your strength by staying in a situation that doesn't serve you. Sometimes Capricorns want to do that. They feel like they're losing, or they feel like they're weak if they leave a situation or a circumstance. You're supported right now to leave what you feel, to give endings to things that need to end, Capricorn, so that you can finally see yourself and honor the High Priestess archetype. You know, I'm rooting for you guys. There's very much undecided for Capricorn. Honestly, you know, I feel like I'm going to kind of end this reading with maybe an understanding that you have all the power right now, Capricorn. I've been trying to articulate on it a little bit, but it's very undecided for you guys. It's very, you know, lots of different possibilities here. So just think about what you want. Think about the endings that need to occur, merging and integrating the life and death drive within yourself, merging and integrating what needs to end, what needs to begin, and not feeling like you have to stay with people who antagonize you. Okay, you can move away from that. Okay, much love to you guys, and if you would like to watch your Sun, Moon, Rising sign, that's in the top left-hand corner, that playlist. Also, you can book a private reading with me here, or subscribe to my channel. Good luck to you guys. I will be talking to you soon. Bye.